I changed my company values a couple of years ago when we implemented EOS. And the first thing that we said is we have to be grateful. Because if you're not in a place of gratitude, you can never achieve more. And if you achieve more, you always want more. And by wanting more, you're never happy because you're never in a state of humbleness and gratitude. So we changed our approach and we said, okay, we have to be humble enough to be grateful for what we got so far. Then we have to have a state of growth because we're meant to grow. We're meant to achieve more, especially if we're making this world a better place.
That is so powerful, David. I you know, it's not uncommon for us to meet people that somewhere on their path where they're on their way to 40 years with their heads down, just kind of like putting money away, accumulating resources. And what we don't want to see happen is for somebody to wake up on that arbitrary day in the future when they decide that it's over and say, what now? That would be tragic, right? Those resources are really meant, most importantly, to spend with the people and on the things that they care most about. You know, so much of what we are as entrepreneurs is about confidence. And when you're creating value like that and you're in deep relationships like that with your clients, that's very confidence giving. And certainly, you know, that happens at home too. You know, I couldn't have gotten as far as I have in my life, you know, without my wife. She's an angel. You know, she keeps us centered. She's very good at keeping me confident and grounded. And to live that every day is a blessing.
Now, how similar is your business compared to your when you were serving for the city?
Well, I would say that some of the similarities are that you have to be a really good listener. So you work for them, right? So we work for our clients. That's the only way that I'm in business is if I have satisfied clients.
Right.
The only way that I was going to make it, you know, in a local government is if you had satisfied residents. And one of the humbling things about that part of things is that no matter how many votes you got, there were more people who didn't vote for you than did. And so, you know, keeping that humility and understanding is really important. And on the business side of things, it means that, you know, we can't be everything to everyone. Not everyone's going to be a client. So this humanity factor thing is very much a magnet or a filter. We're not going to be for everyone. But the good news is that the filter works to make your life easier. So if you're not going to be a match with someone, don't work together, right?
Yeah.
And the magnet is that if you attract the right people who have the same values as you, it's a really good life. You know, I skip in and out of here every day because the relationships that we have with the people that we work with are really nice.
You know, my grandfather used to say, I can teach you how to ride a bike. I can show you videos. I can give you all the theory, but until you get on that bike and bruise your knees, you will not learn how to do it. And so that it's amazing to have mentors, but at some point you need to fail and feel the pain and the suffering in order for you not to put your hands on the fire again.
Yes.
Right?
They're the most meaningful lessons, right? Experience is the best teacher. You can read it in a book, just like you said, you can hear the lesson from somebody that you love, like your grandfather, but sometimes you just need to experience it for yourself for it to be real. You know, David, I started off old school. I would show up in the morning and I wouldn't leave until I would make at least 300 dials a day. I'm a pretty introverted. 300 phone calls a day. And the whole idea was to try to connect with someone at a time in their life that they had a need so that I could start a conversation and see how I might be able to add value for them. I wanted it really bad, really motivated, wanted it really bad. And, you know, did things that a lot of other people are unwilling to do so that I can be in this position today. And it was that mindset that really got me through. You know, you can't control how other people will react to you, but you can control you. And so I just controlled what I knew to control, try to be a good person, help people. And from there, you find connections. But boy, it took a lot of outbound dials to find those connections. And now, you create a community. Like, you really create this community of relationships where you really care about people.
Of course, that's incredible. 300 phone calls a day. You must be making like 2 phone calls every 5 minutes, right? Because I guess the rejection level was so high until somebody wanted to talk to you. And also, you're breaking a limiting belief right now for the audience. You said that you're very introverted. And despite the way God built you, you could still pick up the phone and face rejection. How do you manage that?
So I came from a place of knowing that I can be helpful. So I was willing to accept the rejection. I was willing to make the calls that I normally, I wouldn't be making that if I didn't believe in what I was doing. I wouldn't have been able to do that. But knowing that I could help, knowing that I could offer value is what really got me through. If what you're doing is connected to, providing for the people and the things that you care about the most, you're just in a different mindset than if it's all about the numbers and comparing yourself to a benchmark or some arbitrary other measure, whether it's your neighbor or, the person that does your taxes or somebody else that, might be in your life in some way that you talk to. What's important to them isn't necessarily important to the other person.
Yeah.
So being grounded and centered on what's important to you is really everything. And it helps you get through difficult times like that because you really are grounded.
It's so true. I truly believe that God has given us a different path to every person on earth. And we make such a disservice to ourselves when we start comparing ourselves to somebody else's life. Every time that I did that in my life, I always ended up losing, because especially with investing, you get this fear of missing out. Oh, my friend made 1,000% return buying Bitcoin, right? And then I'm like, how come I am not in that game? And then I don't know about the market. I get into with a lot of money at the top of the market, and then the market crashes the next year, right? And that's what happens. You start comparing yourself to everybody else. And it's even in the book of Proverbs. It says, the fool looks at somebody else's life and compares it to everybody else's life, because you have your own life, you have your own career, your own path, and again, like when it comes to investing, it has to be a long-term play. Short-term investing for me is just a great way to lose all your net worth.